everybody. Good evening to all of you. Lord-Lieutenant, Minister, invited guests. It's our 10th birthday party. I actually think that this evening I may have even outsurpassed myself because you're all amazing. You know, some of you have been here from the very start of the cofinitive journey, and it's just an absolute thrill to have you all here with us this evening. It was suggested that I start with a joke, but anyone who knows me will know that I can't remember jokes, and I'm even worse at executing them, so I'm not going to do that. But what I did want to do was spend a few minutes with you all reflecting what we've achieved in the last 10 years. So our purpose is to help groundbreaking companies tell their stories to the audiences that matter. To date, we've worked with 96 companies, from the earliest startups in the region right through to the largest tech companies on a global basis, and many of those companies we're proud to still work with today. Our job is to share their stories with the investors, with their customers, with their clients. And we can genuinely say, and I'm not just saying it because you're in the room, our clients are the true winners. Collectively, we put together really good stories and we amplify their voices. And that gives them the opportunity then to get more funding, to get more clients, to get those partnerships. And we're honoured to be part of their journey. What we do on a daily basis is holistic marketing. We're about building the strategy, working out what the plan is, and then executing it brilliantly. And we're honoured that over the years we've won lots of accolades and awards for the work that we do, and we're very proud of that. Many of you will also know that we run the 21 to Watch campaign. We've taken 1,736 of the earliest startups and innovators through that programme, and they are all winners. It's an incredible programme, and we're proud to have conceived it and to have the support of many of the people in this room to actually deliver that on an annual basis. And they are all winners. These companies outperform their peers. And as Forbes said, correlation isn't causation, but it really does make a difference. And we're good at picking those companies. Again, many of them are in the room with us this evening. And out of the 126 winners so far, they've raised, since they've been put on that list, over £600 million. And that does not include CMR Surgical, which would just it would double that figure. So one thing that's really important for us at Cofinitive is what underlines that magic that we have. And we really do think that we have, we bring magic to the table. Critically, we haven't done this alone. We've actually done it with the likes of all of you in the room today. We've built sustained long-term relationships that we are deeply proud of, and we thank you all for your part in our journey to date. We've earned our stripes. We've done a lot of paying it forward. So whether that's through sponsorship or mentorship, we've had over 1,000 people come into this particular building to do the Cofinitive Communications Clinic, or working on programs like Impulse. And it's a delight to see some of those Impulse companies here with us this evening. And the Cofinitive team has also evolved. Like any business, the people within the company are the ones that really make the difference. So Carol, who's sitting at the front of us, is absolutely relentless in the most positive way of building stories and getting those stories told. And there's, there are people in the room nodding because they've all been on that receiving end. Gemma is the engine, and it kind of sounds a little bit weird, but Gemma is the engine behind so many things that we do. 21 to Watch would not exist without Gemma. She promotes things like Cambridge Tech Podcast, and that's just growing and growing. And she's behind many of the digital campaigns for our clients. We also have Rolando, who's here this evening. And so Rolando and Kevin have for years been behind many of those brands that we amplify their voices to. And you would probably be very surprised at how many brands. Sometimes people say to us, we didn't know you did that. But we do, and we're behind so many brands, so much so that we have positioned those brands, and actually in many cases we've resurrected quite a few brands, no names mentioned. It's also really good to see some of our alumni here today. So we have Gabrielle Hibbard, who's here, and Gabrielle has gone on to this amazing career in gaming PR. We also have Nikki Shepherd, who I think is way back there. Hi, Nikki. And many of you will know Nikki for her amazing work as CEO of Abbey People. And all these people have been part of our journey. So it's fair to say we have done an awful lot as what in essence is a micro business. And we are very proud of it. And we do it because we have values that we believe in. And those values are passion, integrity, clarity, and inclusion. And we live by those values. We want to tell the great stories, but all the while we do not take advantage of the reputation and respect that we have from everyone in the room. So again, thank you for that. So now I'm going to introduce our first speaker. At the very start of the journey for Cofinitive, Anne Fisher introduced me to David Cleevely. And David gave me some very sage advice, and we've had a great relationship ever since. And I've asked David to come up and talk about one of his favourite topics, which is serendipity. So, David, please come up.
Strategically placed the zero alcohol beer down there. Thank you, Faye, and congratulations on this incredible milestone for Cofinitive. It's a real honour to be here celebrating 10 years of a company that's truly made its mark, not just in Cambridge, but a long way beyond that. Cofinitive stands as a testament to the power of connection, creativity, and a relentless commitment to excellence. Now, as Faye knows all too well, and has just trailed it, I love talking about serendipity, the idea that chance encounters, if you seize the moment, leads to extraordinary outcomes. And Cambridge is a hotbed of that kind of luck, not lottery luck, but the kind of luck you earn through effort, curiosity, and generosity. Take our own journey, Faye. We've crossed paths in so many contexts, from the board of Cambridge Wireless, a technology advisory group at Cambridge Ahead, where, as you just said, I made that initial introduction, and then your vital work in the Cambridge and Peterborough Independent Economic Review. Time and again, you've been in important initiatives, and sometimes, as we discovered when we bumped into each other at Cambridge Technology Week, you're already behind the scenes and working on a project before I even ask about it. And that moment at CTW, where I mentioned my book, Serendipity, It Doesn't Happen by Accident, available in all good bookshops, is a perfect example. Who would you guess that you'd already be promoted? I didn't know. Peter Cowley, of blessed memory, London's great guy. Peter Cowley's book. But then again, I should have known, because you've earned your reputation as a powerhouse. And this highlights a broader truth about Cambridge. It may be a very small place geographically, but its network is incredibly dense and vibrant and open to serendipity. So, what's the secret of creating serendipity? And I think there are two real ingredients: is curiosity and generosity. Curiosity is about taking a genuine interest in people, talking to them and learning from their experiences. And that's how you build relationships, how you create opportunities that wouldn't otherwise exist. And it's why Cambridge thrives. It's full of people willing to cross boundaries, share ideas, and collaborate. Generosity is the second ingredient. As Albert Einstein said, strive not to be a success, but try to be useful. Try to be of value. Helping others, even in small ways, builds trust and creates the foundations for a strong network. And when you give, you find most people want to give back. And that's where the magic happens. Cofinitive embodies both of those principles. Faye, you and your team have built one of the most recognised and respected brands in Cambridge by being relentlessly curious and endlessly generous. You've helped so many organisations, including the ones that I've been involved in, navigate challenges, tell stories and connect with the right people. You've earned your stripes, not just as experts in PR and marketing, but as critical enablers of the Cambridge ecosystem. And that's why we are here today. Not just to celebrate 10 years of Cofinitive, but to celebrate the role that you play in making Cambridge the connected, serendipitous and innovative place it is. And so, I want to raise a glass bottle actually, to Cofinitive. Here's to the past 10 years of building connections, creating opportunities and achieving extraordinary things. And here's to the next 10 years of curiosity, generosity, and of course, serendipity. Cheers.
Should I just get my coat and go home? No, thank you so much. You know, I really respect what you say and recognise the power that you've had behind our success as well. So thank you. So next of all, I want to move to the startup scene. So I've already mentioned, how important the startup scene is for us. Ultimately, we want to carry on working with so many more startups. It's within our veins. I think if you cut us in half, you'd see startups living right through us. And so what I've done is I've asked Dr. Christine Martin if she will come up and just talk a little bit about the startup space and share with you some of her thoughts. So Christine, over to you.
Well, thank you so much, Faye, for inviting me to speak at this really great event. And firstly, happy birthday to Cofinitive. 10 years and going strong with so many highlights to be proud of. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Christine Martin. I'm the head of ventures at Cambridge Enterprise, and my team gets involved in supporting entrepreneurial academics and students when their ambition is to start a company out of their research in the university. And we invest off the university balance sheet, putting University of Cambridge money to work to support University of Cambridge entrepreneurs in the commercialisation of technology. And we're really looking to help people apply their technologies to address the big problems of society and to have an impact globally. Faye asked me to talk a little bit about the state of the market and startup space. And I'm sure we're all aware that currently, with the macroeconomic environment, it is very difficult. And as a result of the market being closed, it's taking a long time to get rounds away. So we're very pleased that actually we've had a couple of successes recently. You might have seen that Mollion announced the completion of their investment round a few days ago, and last month Everalis announced their funding round. And also in September, Riverlane closed their C round. We didn't invest in that because it's too big for us. Trying to achieve any of these things in the current environment is an effort of collaboration. And this is a reflection of being part of an ecosystem that attracts external people, attracts investors, and has to have a narrative that will appeal to people coming to Cambridge from outside. And that's where people like Cofinitive, who work with very many of our portfolio companies, and I'm always surprised by how many of our portfolio companies Cofinitive actually have a relationship with. And that relationship often starts really early. And one of the really important things for our very young companies when they're starting out is the 21 to watch. It's an opportunity for them to get a little bit of exposure. It's great to be on the list. It's great that the LinkedIn shouts go out there. But moreover, actually, the 21 to watch list is a real insight into the opportunities in any year, the new, emerging opportunities coming out of the Cambridge ecosystem. And it's not partisan to the university or one institute or a different one, or one investor's portfolio or somebody else's. It's a broad sweep across what is there going on in Cambridge that we can attract external people to come and view. And when I talk to external investors, whether it's in the UK, Europe, or America, and they say, how do we find out what's going on in Cambridge? Well, obviously, I send them our portfolio list and what our companies are doing. But we also always send them the 21 to watch list, because if we can attract people into Cambridge, then, you know, as far as we're concerned, our portfolio will look amazing, so they will look at our portfolio too. But if investors come for any of the opportunities that they can see in Cambridge as attractive, then basically we're all winning. So while the environment is hard at the moment, and the last financial year was quite tough, we made a number of records as a team. We wrote first checks into 25 new companies. We invested £6.5 million of cash across 41 transactions in about 35 companies. Half of our cash was invested last year in the sustainability sector. And I think the sustainability sector is holding its own in an environment when it can be quite tough for other companies. So we're very proud of our record, but we're also very keen on making sure that we continue to collaborate with Faye and Cofinitive and others to bring the right investors to each opportunity for its stage at the right time. And whatever we can do to bring advisors, mentors and investors into our environment, we are all very supportive of. So many congratulations to Faye for this amazing achievement over the last 10 years. And again, happy birthday.
Thank you, Christine. It's great to have you and many of the team here with us. And we definitely want to carry on telling those stories over the coming years. So now we come to the final section. I want to make 3 points with you all. So the core principles that drive us. You won't believe how many people do say, I didn't know you did that. So I'm just going to remind everyone in the room what our principles are and why they're important. The second is our vision for growth and expansion. At 10 years, you have to look at yourself and go, what are we going to do next? And then the third is going to be the strategic decision that will enable us to achieve that vision. So as many of you will know, I've been involved in this tech space for the last almost 30 years. And I've seen so many things change, not just with the technologies, but also within our profession. There are so many trends and things that come up that everyone wants to get behind. But for us, it's about following some really straightforward communications principles, being extraordinarily consistent with them, and keeping them integrated so that they don't work in isolation. So there are 5 of them. First one, create a brand that lives and breathes your ethos and your values. Second is build a great communication strategy that has to be tied to your business goals. Third, good execution requires knowing which of those tools and techniques to use at any given time. 4 is create compelling content, perfectly pitched to the audiences that matter. And 5 is about keeping people engaged and fostering that perfect culture. And all of those things have to happen together to give you the best chances of success. And that's what we live by, breathe by, day after day, year after year. So that's my first point. The second point is our vision then for growth and expansion. We want to continue collaborating with you, with all of you in the room. We want to keep telling those stories of 21 to watch. For us, how can we get more people recognised on a global, national, regional, local basis? We want to keep Cambridge known as the UK's Centre for Science and Innovation. So we go about positioning all of these companies in their key audiences, but we want to do more. We're a micro business and we've got such huge ambitions to do more. So why shouldn't we be behind the decacorns and the centacorns? Why do we want to stop at unicorns? Let's just go for a global basis. So how are we going to do this? It's such a small company. How are we going to actually do this? So pretty much this time last year, having realised we were coming up for our 10th year, and boy, that bites you, I kind of sat down and went, what do we need to do to stay competitive, to deliver more value, and importantly, to scale? And so again, lots of you in the room, we've helped you with your pitch decks, we've helped you work out how to go and get funding or get those partners in place. I kind of did the same thing for Cofinitive. Then, at the end of summer, I went for a general update meeting with someone that I met 5 years ago, and the discussion quickly changed. It became one of those serendipitous moments. And we kind of both sat there and went, ooh, hang on a minute. I think we can actually make a real significant opportunity if we do something collaboratively. So then I come to the final point, which is what is the strategic decision that we can make that will transform what we do. So I did say there'd be a surprise. It's got to be one. I'm delighted to announce that effective from the 1st of January 2025, Cofinitive will become part of Cambridge Management Consulting. So Cofinitive, the team, its assets, all will transition to the new company, but don't worry, that Cofinitive magic carries on. We just do it in a way that we can scale, we can offer more to all of our clients, and don't worry, we'll be telling you all about it in the coming weeks and months. It's absolutely fine. But the vital thing for me that I really want to reiterate is the values of Cofinitive are so important to us. And so any decision that we make has to be based on what can we do that's different. And the opportunity here is for us to be able to scale and make even more impact. So to tell you more, I would like to introduce the chair and founder of Cambridge Management Consulting, Tim Passingham.
Faye, thank you. I will be extremely brief because tonight is really about Cofinitive and everything you and the team have achieved for the last 10 years, and for us to be joining forces to figure out what else we can do to help all of you for the next 10 years. You've achieved a phenomenal amount. It has been magic this evening, and if you've not had an opportunity, please do take the time to meet Faye's family who are here at the front, because seeing the pride and what you've experienced as Faye and the team have built Cofinitive, and as most people here know, founding a business, building a profitable business, continuing to run and grow a profitable business over 10 years is incredibly difficult. And then to sell that business, and we probably have one of the most accomplished and capable men in the Cambridge ecosystem who's experienced this personally, who spoke earlier, is phenomenally difficult. And Faye, you have achieved all that, and huge kudos to you and your team, and your family are very rightly proud of what you've achieved, which is a great thing. So welcome to the family. Most of you, I hope, hire on values when you build your business. From a Cambridge Management Consulting perspective, that is fundamental to who we are and how we grow. And Faye and I have known each other for a while, collaborated on some things. In fact, she was collaborating with our sustainability business only 2 weeks ago to get an interesting piece in the Financial Times, which got a lot of PR, great PR. So we've tested her from the outside more than once, and the team, and they have passed with flying colours. And we are very, very excited to have you and the rest of the team join us. So now I add my best wishes that everyone else has shared to say happy birthday again and many congratulations. Thank you.
It's quite full on this, isn't it? Crikey. It's easy on paper. When you actually say it, it really is pretty significant. We're so excited about the potential that we now have to really grow and expand. So to close, it's not going to be me. I am honoured to welcome His Majesty's Lord-Lieutenant of Cambridgeshire, Mrs. Julie Spence, to propose a toast.
You will need one of those in a minute. Well, happy birthday as well, and just where you're going to spend your teenage years. Just to say that going back into the Confinitive's 10 years, I first became aware of Confinitive during COVID. And it was a conversation with the Chamber of Commerce about which companies were really excelling in what was difficult times. And without any hesitation, they said Confinitive. And I heard about what they were doing, working with and going above and beyond with companies. So I sent the team a letter of commendation for their outstanding work and their work in translating what some might say is complicated academic gobbledygook, or maybe that's just language and acronyms to the rest of us, into ordinary lay language. Because here in Cambridge, we rightly celebrate the remarkable science and tech companies across our region and within the city. But it's always a special delight to actually be able to recognise companies like Cofinitive, people who help those companies be the best and tell their stories so others know that they are the best. And they enable it in more ways than many. They do underpin the success of innovators through their services and their expertise and their tireless efforts. And you've heard of some of that tonight. And they're widely recognised for contributing significantly to our ecosystem and the reputation that Cambridge has not only in the United Kingdom, but it has worldwide, and it's leading hub for science and technology and innovation. So I'm sure everybody has enjoyed this evening, so what I want you to do with that in mind is to get your glasses and raise them. So let's make a toast to the beginning of this new exciting journey that Confinitive and Cambridge Management Consulting are on. So, to Confinitive and Cambridge Management Consulting, a marriage made in heaven, I'm sure. Thank you very much.